Yeah, the garden is calling. But then again, my plants are arriving in the middle of the week or maybe the end. And there is still, well, at least, I think 3 days of work here. The odd jobs. And if I can finish those, it also cleans up because the bricks will be gone, etc. So maybe do the odd jobs first. Things start here. That thing is to go. Oh, just to be sure. Never know what you're gonna find here. Not on. Allora. Madonna. Even if it's old, it's still chestnut. Man, let's have a coffee. One solution could be to replace that beam. But I already made up my mind, because this is the height of the kitchen. And I was going to build myself a counter wall all the way up to the end. And maybe put a beam in front. And that I can cover with a new one. Well, you know, the big build work is done. So I guess we can take it a little bit slower. We have all these odd jobs to do. Here there's not much space. Learning to fly. Hey there. Ja, ja. Coffee times. This time I have a little bit more time. So this is the slow version video of the work. Huh? All the details. Bon. So like that, I can put all the electricity in here. Maybe a LED strip on top. Backlights. Yeah, but wanna do everything on my sweet 16. Wanna do everything on my sweet 16. And it's time for the electricity to go out. Ah, I don't like that. I need electricity. Gotta figure something else out. Alright. Ooh. Boh, ci siamo, eh? Well, I guess if you find a situation like this in Italy, you can really say, che casino. How are we gonna do that? Maybe fill it up a little bit, then make una soletta. Fill up some stones, material on top and some concrete, because otherwise how are we gonna make a pillar? Alright, fixed. Tomorrow we can start building that pillar. So I don't have enough bricks. I have a bit of a problem with this little wall here. Probably have to scrape off the concrete, cement. Otherwise we're not gonna go too straight. So anything interesting this morning? Yeah man. Playing with cables. Mamma mia, what a mess. But we have everything free now. Electricity is out. Well, the lights are gone. All the old wires are gone. The only thing I have is electricity, and that's exactly what I need. Plus internet. So important. Mamma mia. Lovely morning. But you know, it's some of these things you just have to do them, because if you don't, nothing happens. Left early yesterday, so see if we can finish it today. Yeah, that one is not good. But we're gonna have some cement. So, I'm looking for a more permanent solution for that satellite modem. Be nice to put it on top of that pillar. Now I had some steel rods, so I made a couple of openings in the wall for support. Let's see. So let me take you on a small tour. Because all the small jobs, I'm gonna call them partition walls, they take up a lot of time. Now the old wall is not straight, of course it's not straight. So like this I can make everything a little bit decent. This is basically the entrance to the sauna. I don't have light anymore, it took everything off, of course. I'm gonna have a little bit of a sink here. And then on top, a mirror. So I changed the shape of the sauna. This is the entrance and it's all clean, straight lines. I like it a lot. This is gonna be the shower, cold shower. I'm gonna have a toilet. It's like a service toilet, always handy to have an extra toilet. Now the false door frames are in, and that means that I also have determined the height of the floor, which is important when I'm gonna have to make all the cuts for the electrical conduit, for the water. And then the sauna itself, I think it's a really decent size. It's gonna end up being a little over 2 meters deep. So I can actually lie down on the bench, and that's an absolute necessity. I hate it when you can only sit. And then the width is 250, 260, will end up being 260. I have to tile a piece of the wall, at least where I'm gonna put the wood stove. Exit, the height 230, so we're talking about 11 cubic meters. Very nice space for a sauna. Now in a city like Amsterdam, 25 square meter apartment is starting to be a little bit of a standard. Well, that's the minimum probably, but this one is gonna be for 6, yeah, this one is gonna be 25 square meters. It's the bathroom. False frames are in. These small jobs, they take up a lot of time, really. They take a lot of time. Kitchen. Cooking. Sink. So I have a bit of space here. I have 30 centimeters here, so I can put the coffee machine and I don't know, some kind of a cabinet made from wood. Probably also in that corner I can still do something that is maybe 20 centimeters deep. And then in the front for the clothes, so when you come in you can hang your jacket, etc. Now I don't know if you noticed, but I put in a couple of screws 20 centimeters long into a beam with a roundel, so this wall isn't going to fall forward anytime soon. Here too. And again, you know, you have a straight wall. I used a lot of cement because the wall wasn't straight, so behind the bricks there is really a lot of cement. And that also takes a lot of time. A lot of time. And then some of the bricks are into this wall, so it stays really strong. Now, I do want to share a little secret because I'm not a professional bricklayer, but these little pieces, you know, I can cut a brick in half with a trowel by hand, but once the size is off, so it's like 7, 8, 9, 10 centimeters, so you're looking at 1/3 or even a quarter of a brick, I always break them. So I cut them, each one. It's a bit of work, but at least it stays a little bit decent, you know. And then the space for all the cables, the internet cables. I have a mesh network. 2 of them are cable connected, the other ones are wireless, but they're all in each other's side. There are holes in the side already, but I need to buy a bigger conduit, 25 millimeters, because the RJ jacks, they don't go to the 20. I need to buy a roll anyway, so I will get that one of these days. And then I can finally fix all of this. And then I can put that Starlink router up there, cables in there, etc, etc. And I figured it's easier to do it before. So I have a couple of steel rods inside the wall on the bricks, which keeps it up. And it's also finally straight. There are all different types of wood, but you know, I can always give it a paint, color or whatever, I don't know yet. We'll see. There's only one partition wall left, but first I need to install or get the plumber to install the water tubes and the toilet and the bidet, and then I can build the wall around it. I guess I can do a little bit of a cleanup. All this mess, away with it. Yeah, I say that looks a little bit more decent. Yeah, inside too. Good. Now I start to clean the beams, the steel beams. And then in between I have to plaster. Something I can start to do really. Guess we can give it a try. So it's gonna take time, that's for sure. But I think it's gonna look really pretty, and then the beams painted. So it's a lot of work, especially the first coat, but I think it's gonna look spectacular, you know. And you don't have to paint it, just 2 coats, and then transparent. It's not even a paint, it's like a acrylic primer which you can put afterwards, so it won't the dust from it won't come down. I have to check a little bit this old concrete, anything that is sticking out a little bit too much, maybe I can take it off first, you know, like that. It's really nice that you have an idea about it, and then when you see it in reality, it's like even better than you thought. Ah! Guess I found myself another fantastic job. For sure it's gonna look spectacular once it's done, but man, it's a painstakingly slow process. You have to do 2 times. Yeah, I guess I found the light. Yeah, I prepared too much pasta. I thought maybe some parts would come down, because if you put it too thick, it gets too heavy and it comes down again. Yeah, I think this is the right moment to call it quits for at least a week, see if my plumber and my electricians find the time to go over the light plan and the water, etc. And then I can do all the preparations. So this is the time for me to go into the garden a week. Lots of work there. I'm looking forward to it. Collect my plants. I got to do seeds. So quite a job the last few weeks. After the excavation work, I'm really happy with the result. Hope to see you again next week. And thanks for watching. Ciao.